You may wonder what is to do when the opponent attacks on the flank. Well, the normal reply here is you have to strike in the middle. You have to attack in the center of the board, because when your opponent pushes, for instance, like in our position here, white chooses to play f4 to f5, that already creates weaknesses. And it's worth mentioning that actually the white queen and the white king are on the same file with the black rook. I know you might say, but it's not open. The pawns are there. Well, they are for now, because if we start attacking in the middle, the pawns will disappear very quickly. Let me just go back a little bit and showing you guys that better ideas, wiser would have been for white, for instance, to consider bishop to b5, which would pin the knight to the rook, and thus would allow them to think about playing d4 at some point, but not now, because the knight is actually providing 3 together with the bishop and with the pawn. It's like 3 attackers on d4, therefore you can't push it, but bishop to b5 would have allowed that to happen. Now, when they chose to play f4 to f5, that's the perfect invitation now for black to hit right in the middle. And you go boldly, not a problem, you're going to push the pawn, boom, d5. What does that mean? Well, white has 2 options, and none of them are good. None of them are good. So let's just take them one by one. Either they capture with a pawn, let me draw an arrow, either they capture or they drop this guy. We're going to look at them one after another. So bishop to b3. Well, when this thing happens, what do you think is the phenomenal move that black needs to play here? I know that many of us would think probably they thought previously, well, it's the perfect time now to take on e4, right? That's what you would say. Well, there is another one, even better. There is one that actually would having white here put in a very, very delicate position. Bang, you take on f5. Whoa. You may wonder, wait a second, but they take our bishop. Well, they do. But then what do you think happens? And we discussed previously that actually the white queen and the white king are on the same file with our black rook here. So what could be more compelling now than just to go e4, bang, and you attack the knight? And what do you think happens if they take? Well, if they take, we have a rook, and then we actually pinning the queen to the king. And even if they try to do that, we're going to take again, because there is already a bishop there on c5 protecting e3. So it's cooked. White is simply in big trouble here. There is no good move. Whatever they try to, they move away. I mean, like, who cares? You're going to take on f3, take the knight, attack the queen. Big trouble for them. And regardless what white chooses to play here, you're going to actually crashing it, centralizing more of your pieces, activating them, knight very elegantly, hitting the queen, hitting the d3. The bishop here is reigning supreme. Black king is safe, white king is not, is still subjected to all sorts of attacks. And now white has to figure out where to go with the queen. The d3 at the same time is being attacked. There's nothing good here for white. Now, let me just go back briefly, because some of you may inquire, well, wait a second, everything is fine, but what if white just simply takes? Well, you may say that. E takes d5. What do you think we play? Again, some of us might be tempted to say, oh, move the knight on c6, is hanging. We have to save our knight. Well, wait a minute. Maybe there's something better. Who said that? Emmanuel Lasker said that when you think you see a good move, look for a better one. I think I got the quote correctly. If I didn't, guys, please feel free to put it right. So, no, we are not going to save the black knight on c6, because there is a stronger move here. Boom, e4. Again, opening the e file. And again, white is in trouble. You lose the queen if you take the pawn. So they try to, I mean, this is bad. It's as bad as it can get. It's just, now we take the knight. We don't take on d3. We're going to capture on f3. The queen can't move because it's pinned. And again, there can't be a good move here. And normally the player with the white pieces should just resign, unless there is a bullet. If you played this a bullet, probably you could persist a bit longer, being just a couple of seconds. But if it's a rapid or classical, just shake hand and go for another day, go for another match. Thanks for watching the first part, guys. We're going to be coming back with more scenarios to discuss them friendly together with you guys. And share the video if you liked it. Cheers, fellas. See you next time.